Have you ever felt like something just wasn't right in your relationship? Like no matter how much you gave, how much you loved her, there was always this nagging feeling in your gut? Let me ask you.
Have you ever questioned if you were the only one in her life?
Because let's be real, some women are experts at deception. They'll smile in your face, call you baby, make you feel like you're her world, but behind your back, she's entertaining multiple men. And the worst part? You won't even realize it until it's too late. But today I'm going to expose it all. 6 signs that a woman is secretly juggling multiple lovers. And trust me, you need to watch this entire video, because by the time we're done, you'll never fall for her tricks again. So before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's expose the truth together. Now let's get into it. Sign 1. She's always on her phone but never available. Did you ever feel like you were running after a ghost in a relationship? So you felt obligated to maintain some kind of relationship with her even as she drifted more and further away? I want to know how many times you've tried texting her and received hours of silence in response. Does anyone know how many times you tried calling her and got no response? The actual question, though, is why she can't seem to put down her phone if you're with her, yet she's completely unavailable once you want her help. You see, a lady who is genuinely interested in you doesn't vanish without a trace. Her response time is lightning fast, she never puts you on read, and she absolutely never makes responding to your text seem like work. Things change, though, when she's involved with more than one man. They are under her management. Stay on time with them. Move them around as if playing musical chairs. That's why she's probably engrossed in someone else's company when you text her. Also, she's constantly looking at her phone, maybe for someone else when you're around. Remember when you were last in each other's company? Was her phone resting face down on the table the whole time? When you questioned, "Who is that?" Did she respond with a grin in response to a message, or did she ignore it? I mean, come on. Was she ever completely engaged, or was she constantly fidgeting with something else? You see, when a lady cares deeply about you, she will do everything she can to make you feel special. But what about a lady who has more than one partner? The distance she maintains from you is unending. Her attention is just right for a hook, but it will never be enough to make you feel safe. The suffering starts there, my friend. When you fall in love with someone, the worst thing is to find out they're only half committed. I want to know whether you've ever felt this way before. In the dead of night, have you ever waited for a text message that never came? Do you ever find yourself perusing her social media accounts and puzzling about how she manages to publish so much yet never responds to you? Trust your own judgment, because you can't just let this happen to you. She wants to keep her options open while she keeps you in the dark. Plus, you're setting yourself up for heartbreak if you don't quit now. Sign 2. Her plans are always last minute. May I inquire how frequently you two really coordinate your schedules? Who makes them anyhow when you do? Do you usually initiate contact? Never stopping to inquire, "Hey, when are we going to meet?" Does she follow through on her promises when she does agree to them? On the other hand, does she ever cancel at the last minute with a weak excuse? But hear me out. If she isn't giving you her undivided attention, it's because someone else is. Consider it. A woman's excitement at seeing you is a sign that she genuinely cares about you. She will be meticulous, punctual, and eager to secure you before everyone else. A justification exists, though, if she is consistently evasive and leaves things open-ended. Until a more suitable alternative presents itself, she will wait. Are you familiar with this scenario? When you invite her out, she responds, "I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know." She either abruptly announces, "Okay, I'm free now," or ghosts you right before the deadline. Plus, you give up everything to spend time with her as you've been waiting all day and she has left you hanging. What are your thoughts about that? A lady that loves you won't keep you waiting. Trust me when I say that. You are not treated as an afterthought by her. She calls you for more than just boredom or when all her other plans fall through. But if she's treating you this way, you have to wonder how much longer you can take it. Simply said, she will not value her time as much as you do if you disregard it. And what if she's busy with more than one lover? If she finds a man she loves, you will always take a back seat. I have one more question for you. Is it acceptable? But maybe it's time to just stop trying. Sign 3. She's emotionally distant but physically present. May I inquire of you something? Can you relate to the feeling of being physically close to a lady while yet feeling as though she's miles away? Sitting next to you in your arms, or perhaps even holding your hand, she is actually there. You sense it, though, in your gut. Weirdness ensues. She gives you a different expression. She no longer has that enticing sparkle in her eye, her laughter at your jokes, her excitement at your calls, and the way she held you as if she never wanted to release you. It's all going away. Still, she remains. Why? Reason being, she is considering you for the future. When her other suitors are unavailable, she can always rely on you. You're her safety net. Not to mention how you know it deep inside, right? Looking at her those evenings made you question, does she even want to be here? You could feel her rejection as she averted her lips from your kiss. Observe her sigh when you inquired about her well-being. It was telling that she said, "Nothing, I'm just tired," even though you knew she wasn't. Please explain to me, have you ever felt like you were losing someone you loved deeply? No matter what you did? That's because her heart was never truly hers before she met you. You were giving her your whole self. But she was splitting herself up and giving other guys bits and pieces. And let's not sugarcoat it. That hurts more than anything else. The most heartbreaking thing is, when you find out the lady you love isn't actually yours. I have a tough question for you today. Will you continue to be the target of her emotional outbursts? Do you really want to be with a lady who isn't passionate about you but is only acting romantically toward you? Simply said, a lady that cares about you will never intentionally isolate you. She has already surrendered her heart to another. Guy, if you feel like a stranger in your own relationship, so I want to know, what are your plans to address this? Sign 4. She guards her privacy like a secret agent. Have you ever realized that some ladies are very mortified to have you touch their phone? She grabs it as if it were a bomb as soon as you reach for it, seemingly without warning. On the other hand, you may have asked her, "Hey, could you show me that photo we shot?" as she personally checks her gallery to make sure you don't see anything inappropriate before giving you the phone. Why? What on earth is she trying to hide? There is nothing hidden from a lady who is faithful and committed to you. She doesn't stress out over leaving her phone face up. She isn't afraid you'll see a message, and she positively refuses to get defensive anytime you ask her an innocent question. Yet a lady who is involved with more than one partner? She needs to be really cautious when playing. After she leaves your apartment, she has to make sure you never see her late-night messages, flirtatious texts, or plans she makes with another man. The majority of males fall victim to this here, because you begin to find reasons to justify it. You start to convince yourself, perhaps I'm being too analytical. Perhaps what she really wants is to be alone. But you know the truth in your heart. A lady who is deeply in love will not hide anything from you. A lady who cares about you wants you to feel safe, and you can tell when she does. But here you are nevertheless, stunned and embarrassed, as if you're in a race against the clock to capture her gaze. Sense that someone else is gradually replacing you and you are progressively receding into the background. Please explain to me, is it possible that you have overlooked a woman's dishonesty out of fear of losing her? Keep it real. Can you tell me the number of times you ignored warning signs? Ask yourself this, how many times have I told myself that she will change if I love her more? I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but she won't change. No woman worth her salt would ever consider a future with you if she kept secrets from you. Her secrets are being guarded by her. The worst type of heartache is when you know the truth but yet choose to ignore it. This is what you're about to experience if you don't escape immediately. I do, however, have one last query for you. Is the truth finally going to hit you? Sign 5, she disappears without explanation. Have you ever been head over heels for a lady who abruptly stopped being interested in you? She starts messaging you constantly one day. She enjoys being in your presence. She's planning plans and she's phoning you. After that, she vanishes without a trace. I have not received any messages. There have been no calls, no justifications. Absolute stillness. Perhaps she's simply busy, you rationalize at first. You have to be patient for a few hours, then a day, and finally 2. Anxiety begins to set in at that point. At that moment, thoughts like, did I make a mistake? Begin to go through your head. Is she mad with me? Has her interest waned? As a result, you cry. The two of you exchange texts. Hey, is the situation all right? And you know what? Either she completely disregards you, or responds with the most remote and icy tone. Yeah, just been busy. What you don't know, though, is this. She isn't occupied. Her partner has left her. She's avoiding you because she's interested in another man. The worst thing is this. Whenever that other guy lets her down, refuses to fulfill her desires, or treats her like a replacement. She returns to you in a flash. Then you return her acting foolishly. You treat her coming and going from your life as if it were meaningless. Your love was allowed to be treated as an afterthought. Can you count the number of times she has done this to you? Have you ever waited for her, assuming she simply wanted some space, only to find out she was seeing someone else? She returns again and time again while pretending nothing transpired. In addition to telling you that she misses you, she grins, embraces, and kisses you. However, you have a sneaking suspicion that something is off. Do you not perceive it? That remaining uncertainty, that inner critic who's been saying, she's hiding something for some time now. I agree with you. Indeed she is. If a lady loves you, she will never leave your side. You won't start to doubt your value when she is silent for days. Uncertainty has no place in love. Let me clear anything up for you. The key is to be consistent. What do you think? How much longer do you intend to let her play this game? Sign 6. She always has an excuse to avoid commitment. Have you ever dated a lady who prefers vague terms? Your presence brings her delight. She gives you her time. Perhaps she has slept with you as well. The subject of commitment, though, makes her anxious. She evades the subject. She shifts the conversation. She states, I'm simply not prepared for a serious commitment at this moment. But even so, she retains your presence. The amount of time she spends contacting you through text, phone, and other means is just right to keep you captivated. To be honest, though, she should not be considered not ready. She simply isn't ready to settle down with you. If a lady is serious about wanting you, she will not hesitate to assert her claim. However, it's likely that she has other guys in her life if she avoids naming you, keeps things unclear, or treats you like an option rather than a priority, and you're aware of it in your heart, because you are well aware that there will always be others, no matter how hard you try. What I want you to do now is question yourself to what extent are you prepared to continue squandering time? Reason being, I don't think love should be this complicated. When a lady loves you, she doesn't make excuses. She stays engaged in the discussion. She won't play you for a fool while she keeps her options open. Her choice is you. To the letter. In a word, yes, without a doubt. You should thus distance yourself if she is not doing it. Conclusion. Truth always emerges when all is said and done. When that happens, you may either choose to ignore it or just leave. You are deserving of more than being considered as a mere option, believe me. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.